Hey, hey, get on the groove.
Hey guys, glad you managed to get on the groove. I'm Sam Lewis and today I'm sitting here with the incredibly talented Andrew Farriss. Welcome, Andrew.
Oh, thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much for having us at your home here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, welcome.
You have a lot of trains sitting around the house, actually. Do you love the locomotive or have you just got a quirky little hobby?
Yeah, it's a bit quirky, but it's sort of also, I like the historical aspect of it too. Interestingly enough, there's a famous book called Nothing in the World Quite Like It, and it's about Abraham Lincoln at the end of the Civil War in the United States. He was looking for a way to get the North and the South, to like each other again because they just had a big war. And he came up with the idea of a competition to build a railroad from one side of the United States to the other, when you would have had horses and wagon trains and all the rest of it. And what a brilliant man, because what he did is he put that country back together again and built something at the same time. That's an incredibly smart thing to do, So, I mean, I find it historically interesting as well, It's, the railroads or railways, as we know them, are, interesting things. They're built countries,
Yeah, and you actually order pieces from all around the world and put them together yourself, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I fiddle around. I pull things apart and mess around. I think I like the sort of boffin aspect of it. Messing around with it. Electric. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time, really. It's sort of my plaything, if you like.
What else is new for you? Are you writing music again? Are you working with other artists? What's next for you?
I definitely will be working, with all sorts of people when I'm doing the fellowship in Canberra at the ANU. But I'm also going to continue working with some friendships and good people that I know, who I'm getting to know better overseas. And I'm starting to work, again, and sort of open myself out to people and write with them and start, keep re-kickstarting myself in that area again. Yeah.
Fantastic. Is that part of a solo project in terms of away from INXS?
Or, no, this is my own thing.
Right.
And I've always put, I'm passionate about INXS and I'm passionate about the guys I work with, the great guys and my brothers. And, and I miss them when I'm not with them. But, yeah, this is about me this time. So I'll be doing stuff, that I want to do, that I like, but, the opportunity to do a lot of what I can do now has come from working with those guys, So I really appreciate that, actually.
I personally would love to see you lay down some funk tunes with someone like Mark Ronson. Have there been any artists come through that you've sort of seen and thought, I'd love to work with them? Yeah,
well, that's a good question. I mean, originally, with the INXS guys, we used to play like funk and blues and stuff as the Farriss brothers, and then that was sort of in the mid, sort of getting towards late 70s, and then by then punk had come in and everyone was playing straight eights and just do sort of, straight ahead rock. And so we sort of left all the funk and blues stuff behind for a while. And then it was somewhere around about 1982, somewhere in that area, that I remember saying to Michael Hutchins, my mate in the band, I remember saying to him, we should relook at all that, the funk thing, because nobody's doing it anymore, And so we did, and we ended up writing a song called Original Sin, and then we heard that Noel Rodgers, who we were big fans of, was in the same area we were in. He was in Canada, I think, and we were playing there, and he came backstage and talked to us, and I was going, Noel Rodgers, and he's a great guy, and he said, what are you doing? So we'd love to do some recording. So we went to New York and recorded Original Sin with him in New York, and it was awesome. But I'm really sort of pleased with that recording because it was funky and nobody was kind of going there,
Yeah.
And it was sort of like really good timing for us to do that. And then same with, we recorded another song. We started getting more and more into funk stuff with What You Need, which is a funk rock thing and all that.
Yeah.
So I really get that, and it's very much a part of what I do when I'm writing. I incorporate beats and I incorporate, the tempos, and I incorporate, the chords and riffs and, the way that the timing of the vocals is important with funk as well. It's really important. But good producers are good producers, But it has to have the input from the musicians in the first place,
Yeah.
It's got to be right. Either that or, you know, it's electronic dance music, basically. You just, you know, comes out of the can.
Yeah.
But with people playing, yeah, you know, it's really cool.
And is there anyone in particular, though, that you've seen come through and thought that you could do something with?
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's so many people, you know, who I think are super talented in that area. At the moment, I can't stop listening to some sort of some jazz stuff. I don't know how to describe it, but more stuff like brass and kind of unusual instruments that you don't hear much anymore. You know, kind of like in pop records or at all.
Yeah.
You know, fascinates me. You know, I like, for example, I love the way Mumford and Sons, which is not so much funk, but I love the way they sort of reintroduced banjo again into another generation, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, people may not know, in the INXS song, New Sensation, I actually played a sample of a banjo in that.
Right.
It's going on in the whole time in the song. It's part of what makes it funky. You wouldn't have thought so, but that's actually the instrument that gives some of the groove to the part of it. You
Didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Quirky instruments like that are, you know, often really important, and because, well, there's a few things going on there. For the listener, you know, when on the radio, they're so used to hearing the same sounds.
Yeah.
Whether it's the, you know, the snare drum or the bass drum or whatever it is, you know, so they go, oh, it's another one, you know, and the singer comes on, it's all the same sounds, you know.
Yeah.
But when you start using different instruments, they're like, I don't know what that is, as they're listening to it. If they're not familiar with the instrument, it draws their attention, you see, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because they hear it stands out. Same with, you know, people used to listening to easy 4-bar, 8-bar, 16-bar sections of music, you know.
Yeah.
Make them 3 bars or 5 bars long or something. And your ear automatically goes, what? I don't understand what I just heard, because you're so used to or programmed by radio to be used to listening to things in nice, easy packages. As soon as you break that up, someone's like, what am I listening to, you know? And that's good. That's what it should be doing all the time, you know?
Mixing things up.
Why not?
INXS
You know,
always sort of...
Who's the big chief, you know, decider of that, you know?
True.
Why should we all listen to that, you know?
That's why you guys did so well, I guess.
Maybe.
Because you mixed it up. INXS actually did sit quite left field of everything else that was going on at any particular time. Was there a deliberate rebellion between you all in doing that, or did you just make the music that felt right to you? Yeah,
I think it's more the latter. I think, I wish we could say we were that clever. I actually think a lot of it was just, we got bored really easily with one style of music. I mean, record companies hated INXS because we didn't make the same recording each time. You listen to a lot of acts, and they sound like the same act every time they make a recording, you know? Well, I don't think INXS did. I think you listen to different parts of our career, you're like, is that the same band, you know? And that was deliberate because we're just like, well, we've done that, so let's do this, you know? That was more what it was about. It wasn't really trying to be clever. I think we just had a very, you know, what's the word? You know, we were always searching for something. I don't know what, you know.
Just the next thing that made you feel something, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't that complicated, really.
And what would be your favourite piece of music that you've ever written? Something, apart from forget fans, forget record sales, what is something that you've written that you've thought, wow, I wrote that?
Yeah, I mean, I think more recently, you know, I've thought a lot about Never Tear Us Apart, the song. First of all, Michael's lyric is beautiful and timeless, and then it's been taken up as a sort of a, you know, a footy anthem, you know, more recently, and you know, and that's kind of to me what I find very amazing about all that is it gets out of the pop genre and it goes into culture.
Yeah,
it's not actually a part of. It's not a chart thing anymore. It becomes, people say they love the song and they, you know, regardless of age, and they're all into it and everything. You go, well, that's amazing, you know.
It's been so amazing to see, I guess, probably since the miniseries was released last year. Yeah. How many generations now across your music. And I actually went to see a tribute cover band, INXS cover band, not long ago, and they were great. But it was so amazing to see different generation. You know, there were kids there that were 12, 15, and then there were, 70-year-olds there. It was just amazing to see the stretch of generations and everyone loving the music for just the simple reason that it was brilliant. Has that been really exciting to see some of the younger kids come up and after they've seen the miniseries and rekindle their love, I guess, for your music? Has that been exciting for you in the band?
Yeah, it has been. I mean, also the fact that, this is happening in Australia is great too.
Yeah.
Because we were never quite sure whether, as Aussies, how this was all being perceived by Aussies,
Yeah.
And it's just, I think every countryman or countrywoman of their own, culture want to be embraced by their own culture. It's part of, isn't it? It's something that's ingrained in our DNA, So I think, for that, I feel really, really blessed. It's amazing. I think also overseas too, we were fortunate too because we have a big fan base, and it's not necessarily the same in one country as it is in the other, and they don't necessarily know one song that, say, another country really loves. They know all sorts of different songs of ours, over decades of our work, So it's sort of, that's interesting too. I mean, we played some, actually the biggest shows we've ever played weren't necessarily in Australia,
So, notice there's a guitar sitting here.
How about that?
Not just a prop, perhaps you could play something for us?
Okay,
yeah?
Sure.
Amazing, thank you.
Yep.
What are you going to play?
I suppose I could play a few things, really.
Just write something new.
That's always possible. I thought I might do a song that people know. It's a song called "Don't Change," and it was written many years ago, actually by all of the guys in INXS. But particularly I like the song because it relates to positivity, and so I was going to play that. It's all right.
Fantastic. So, take it away.
All right. I'm standing here on the ground. The sky above won't fall down. Seeing all evil in all directions. Resolution of happiness. Things have been dark for too long. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. I found a love that I had lost. It was gone for too long. Hearing all evil in all directions. Execution of bitterness. Message received loud and clear. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. Don't change for you. Don't change a thing for me. Don't change a thing. Don't change a thing.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I might actually get you to hold that a little longer. Would you like to play a few of your favourite riffs?
My favourite, oh, you mean, okay, sure.
Like either the most famous or your favourite or whatever you want to play.
Sure. Well, I mean,
Since I've got you.
Well, talking about funk stuff, I guess, is,
Yeah.
just one, but I mean, I've got a few of those sorts of things, you know.
Oh, just a few.
Yeah,
only like some platinum records.
Yeah, and but you know, I love funk rock.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Are we going to see some more in the future?
I think I'll get around to that.
Great.
Yeah, I'm working on some stuff right now, and I'm still sort of defining what exactly it's going to be, but yeah, I'm thinking about some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. That's really exciting. When can we see some stuff come through for you?
Well, I don't know, to be honest with you, but you'll probably, hopefully, hear it.
Yeah. I will definitely be listening out, so cool. I'm sure I will hear it. Very excited. We've got more with Andrew Farriss on Get on the Groove coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
So get on the groove.
Hey, hey, get on the groove.
Yeah, it's groovy.
Yeah.